Hello everyone. Welcome back to D's M. Welcome back to our channel. I hope that everyone is doing okay. I'm doing okay. The boys are doing okay. We're very cold. Very cold, but other than that, we are absolutely fine. And if you live somewhere where winter is wintering right now, I hope you're keeping warm. In today's video, I will try to keep it short and brief. I want to talk a little bit about autism. We have over 20 subscribers now, 21 to be exact. So I think it would be, good to kind of like talk about autism just to help you understand a little bit better as to what it is and what it is not. So this video is for you. If you're new here or if you just happen to stumble across this video, it's for you. So autism, and I'm just gonna try to talk about it, from a parent's perspective, not so much so medical and professional, okay? Autism is a neurological and developmental disorder. It's pretty much going to affect how someone communicates and how they experience the world around them. What it is not is an illness, okay? Autism is not an illness. It is not something that needs to be fixed, and you cannot pray it away. If you're a parent and you have an autistic child, perhaps you've experienced people saying that they're going to pray for your child, which in itself is okay. Prayer is not bad. However, it's also important for us to remind those people that you cannot pray autism away. It's literally a condition that impacts how somebody's brain works and functions. That's it. And it's completely okay to be different. Okay? So it is not an illness. It's just going to look different, which is another thing with autism, is that it's a spectrum. So it's going to look different in every individual. It varies. And sometimes when people say that it's a spectrum, they're not necessarily saying that it's going to, run from mild to severe. What they mean is that one autistic child might be able to tolerate noise, and then the other autistic child may find noise overwhelming. One autistic child might be verbal, and another autistic child might be nonverbal. So that's the spectrum and how it varies differently and how it looks different for every individual. Okay, so it's a spectrum, and it's not an illness. I want to be very specific about that, because early in my journey with having children with autism, a lot of people would look at it as an illness. Okay? And when it comes to autism, sensory needs is a very big part of autism and understanding autism. Sensory regulation can look different in every child, which is expected because every child is different. So sensory regulation can look different for every child. And because I have two children with autism, two children that are on the spectrum, I'm always comparing them in terms of their sensory behaviors to better understand them. So if you're going to, compare people with autism, don't do it from a judgmental place, but do it from a place of wanting to understand why they behave the way that they do. because sensory behaviors are not, you know, a child misbehaving. And a lot of the times when people are not educated on autism, they'll look at those behaviors as a child misbehaving, when really and truly that's just their way of regulating their nervous system. So yeah, I'm always comparing the boys, and they're so different. Yes, they're both diagnosed with autism, but they are so different. Starting with, even communication. Malachi is a bit more verbal, and then Malik. So Malik will just make sounds. He'll hum a lot, and Malachi is able to use more words. So that's already a difference that I see with them. But what it does is make me have to communicate them in whichever way works best for them. So with sensory seeking, for example, if it's auditory, yeah, because to better understand it, there's like different categories of sensory seeking behaviors. And if it's auditory, Malachi, for example, he likes to listen to the same sound on repeat, like for an hour or however long. I can hear, like when he's on YouTube, whatever sound that he's feeling at the moment, he's gonna have that sound on repeat. And oftentimes I will go around the house saying or singing whatever the sound was, because now it's stuck in my head. And then you have Malik, who will seek to regulate through the proprioceptive avenue. And that's just a fancy word for saying, like, he's trying to regulate through body awareness. So for him, that looks like jumping. He loves to jump. It looks like climbing. So if you take him to like a indoor trampoline, soft play, he's gonna love it. And sometimes at home, what he does is he'll climb on the bed and slam himself down. It doesn't hurt. He could do it from the bed or on the bed, or he could literally just be standing and yeah. So for him, that's what that looks like. And also having his blanket. I've posted Malik before with his blanket, and he always has his blanket at home as well as school. So I just allow him to have it as much as possible wherever he goes, because I know that's a way for him to regulate. So it's not just about comfort, but he really benefits from that. So yeah, there's auditory, there's proprioceptive, there's visual as well, and oral. All those way that they can try to regulate themselves. For example, with oral sensory seeking, Malachi also falls in that category, because he sometimes will need to have his chewy, which is like a chewing a necklace that goes around his neck. And when he's stressed, especially when he's stressed or just frustrated and he's having a hard time, then he can chew on the necklace. Also with visual sensory seeking, he likes to watch anything with patterns, flashing lights. He would like that. But Malik is not so much of a fan of flashing lights. So again, I'm always comparing the two of them and seeing just how vastly different that they are, although they're both considered autistic. Yeah. It's very important to understand why children with autism, or people with autism in general, behave a certain way and do the things that they do. Especially if you're out in public and you see a child who's trying to self-regulate, and it might look like something weird or whatever, but it's very important not to be judgmental and to just, understand that this is just a human being, first of all. It's a human being that's just living and experiencing the world differently because their brain just works different. At the end of the day, that's all that it is. People who are not autistic, us too, we have to self-regulate. For me, that can look like deep breathing, you know, taking a moment, a minute or two, to, not only when I'm frustrated or angry, but deep breathing just kind of like calms me down and, bring me back to center and helps me to think more clearly. For a lot of people, listening to music, I think this is almost universal. A lot of people listen to music to regulate their nervous system. You might be feeling really down, and by the time you listen to music for an hour, at the end of the hour, you feel uplifted. You feel so much better. So yeah, for me, it might look like that, but for somebody with autism, it might look like jumping. And I should respect that. I should understand that that is their way of being, living, and experiencing the world. So, yeah, like I said, I won't be long. I'm just going to keep it brief. I do want to do more videos to talk about, autism and explain it a bit more, especially as our channel continues to expand and we get more subscribers. I will be able to upload more and talk about, stuff like this and challenges. Also, maybe in the next video, I want to talk about communication and what that looks like for the boys and details, how Malik communicates versus how Malachi communicates. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, and hopefully somebody will find this information helpful. And if anybody wants to, share anything in the comment section, feel free to do that. If you have questions that you want to ask, feel free to do that, or any information that you want to share, feel free to do that. I am here for the interaction, okay? I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.